Hey guys, Chris here and welcome to a new episode for How To. Today we're going to talk about Kerrigan and how to do the Kerrigan combination, which is something that I've seen a lot of players miss or not use correctly. So let's have a look at it and see how you can improve it, how you can learn it, and also how we can all be better at Kerrigan. So first things first, what is the Kerrigan combination? It's basically the QWE abilities that you have in the bottom performed in a row. The most important part of that is W into E, so that is the one that will make a difference because your Q, your ravage, will always hit. So you can ravage on anybody and it will always hit something. Very easy to hit. So Impaling Blades and Primal Grasp are the two abilities that will make the combination or break the combination depending on how well you perform them. So the simple combination is basically W into E and not the other way around. It's not E into W because I will show you why. E into W. E into W. So Primal Grasp has the tendency to actually lock Kerrigan into an animation, which is this one. Due to that, she can't use any other abilities. So for example, if you E into Q, she will use the Q afterwards. This is very important because I see a lot of people use E and then realize that W didn't go off or something like that. Also important, if you go into your hotkeys, Quick Cast has to be on Kerrigan. I think there's no discussion on it. Just because it's very difficult to actually do it. Well, I'm not used to it anyway. But while you can hit it, it obviously needs 2 more clicks to actually register. So it can be difficult. I would definitely advise you to use Quick Cast on Kerrigan. So, how do you do the combination and how do you not screw it up? So most importantly is that you use your W in between the target and you. If you use it on the target, you will actually pull them out. And if you use it too close to you, for example, you put it on you, you will not pull them in. So it has to be somewhere in between you and the target. And depending on how close you are, obviously it changes. For example, here, you actually have to put it on yourself. But the question is, will you actually need to use Ravage? Primal Grasp, not Ravage. So, for a good combination is basically putting a W down closer to you and then using E on max range. So something like this. Then the enemy will be in the middle of your stun and will definitely be hit. It's also not important where he's hit, like as long as he's hit, no matter in which area of the stun, it will stun him the same amount. So Impaling Blades doesn't have any preference on that. Okay, so let's go turn Quick Cast back on so I don't get weird combinations off. When you do this, it's really important to obviously know that your enemies will try to juke you off. So learning the Kerrigan combo is a thing in which you always have to look at real games and also still try the combination out and try them out. It's really important that you, well, learn the combination. If you use it a lot, it will come off more easily, and also you will have to play a lot of games with Kerrigan to learn how to juke people that want to juke you. So don't lose your hope if you hit or if you miss the first couple of combinations. Another thing is obviously the Q into E combination. Sorry, the Q into W into E. While it's an okay combination, Q normally should be used to just close the gap and then see how the enemy reacts. Because this is nice, but it only gives you the opportunity to hit one enemy. There might be opportunities out there that lets you hit multiple enemies if they want to save the person that you're jumping onto, and so on. Q should only used as a gap closer, yeah. But also, if you're this close and the enemy is not moving, it can actually be very tricky to hit the combination because they might be moving down and then you only stand here and so on. So letting them move a couple of seconds is fine. Obviously, don't let them run away. Okay, so now that we have the combination down a little bit, let's see what you can do with minions. Kerrigan should not be a laner. She can, as you will see now in a second, clear minion wave pretty okay, as you can see. We're done much quicker than Arthas. Obviously now with the cooldown as well. But is that really efficient? It is not. Because first of all, your talents have a lot of cooldown. To be precise, 10 and 12 seconds. So using these to clear minions has two negative effects on you. First of all, you will lose a lot of mana, and second of all, you can't use them to gank somebody. So using this purely to clear minions will lead you to have to beg for mana and also to not have any effect on the game. Kerrigan is ganking, not laning. You can lane if it's like in a situation where you have to, but there's definitely better laners out there, so you shouldn't be focusing on that. The second thing is mana. The full combination of Q, W, E and your heroic would be 275 mana if you take Maelstrom. So Ravage has 40 mana, Impaling Blade 75 and Primal Grasp 60, as well as Maelstrom I think 100 and something. Actually 100 to be exact. So 135 mana is a lot, especially early game. On level 10 you will feel that mana be gone. On level 20 it's a little bit better, but you still have to regenerate mana and you don't have any talents to do that. The combination of Impaling Blades into Primal Grasp is still 135 mana, so it's only 140 mana cheaper to do W into E. So early game it's really important that you have impactful Q into W into E combinations, and also that you don't use your Q unless you really need to close the gap or reset the Q cooldown for some reason. So, when you look at Kerrigan, she's a very good hero, but she's a melee, so she will need support from your team. So hitting the combination is what can decide games, especially early game, but you also need to learn how to do it. So important is that you try to play as many games with her before you take her into Hero League. Use quick match, unranked draft, whatever you like. Even versus AI games can be pretty helpful because the AI does try to dodge and also gank you. One thing is also important, if you have a duo queue partner for Hero League, it's really incredible to have an Uther so you can get Divine Shielded. Okay, then let's reset all talents and let's talk about Kerrigan's standard build. So there are two builds at the moment. One is the Q build, which is very well known for its effectiveness on Infernal Shrines, because you basically can kill all the minions on the shrines without any help. We will not look at that because it's a very specific thing, and I might do a video about that later on, but it definitely will impact your effectiveness on the combination and also on the team fighting. So on level 1 you will go Sharpened Blades, which will do more damage for your Impaling Blades. There's also the ability to go Siphoning Impact if you don't have much support. Let's say you only have a Tassadar. It can be okay, but normally Sharpened Blades is what you want to do. Primal Grasp costs less mana. In theory it's nice, but it only affects one of your abilities, and it's not the one that stuns. So it's okay, but it's not the best. And Block is in general a great talent, but you won't be laning as much, so Block should be something that you don't take into consideration for Kerrigan. On level 4 you have Psionic Pulse, which is the best talent for our ways to play the Kerrigan, for using the combination. It will damage nearby enemies, so even if you do use Wave Clear, it will be much quicker, and also if you, for example, attack a hero that is into a wave, it's easier to kill the wave while still attacking the enemy hero, because they will get damage from the pulse. On level 7 there's a couple of things that you can do. Adaptation is something that you will see a lot from pro players as well, to jump to the allies and save themselves. It can be quite good. Blade Torrent is something that you can do at the beginning maybe, to increase the Impaling Blade's radius. This is a little bit of a noob helper, so to say, because it increases the range. That being said, if you do the combination correctly, there's no need for this, because you will always pull the enemies into the range. So you can maybe learn the combination with this, but it's probably not the best talent to use to play her. Assimilation Mastery is something that I like a lot in solo games in Hero League. When I don't have a good healing combination, So maybe, for example, I only have a Tessadar, or we don't have a support, for example. Or you just don't trust the support. That's also something. Estimation Mastery will need on level 16 aggressive defensive, just to have more shields. So it is a little bit dependent on something else. For us, I think for us in the focus on the combination, Blade of Momentum is the best because you have more combinations up. This will drain your mana a lot because you have more combinations, you use more of these spells, you will run out of mana more quickly. But it is definitely something that helps when you miss combinations, but also just in general to have your Q up again to hit a target, for example, or to chase somebody. On level 10, for me personally, there's only Maelstrom. Ultralisk is okayish. It doesn't do that much damage, but if it's not attacked, it can actually be quite okay. But for us, the combination definitely is Maelstrom. Bye bye, Arthas. On level 13, you have a couple of things that you can use. Eviscerate is pretty well liked in the pro scene because it gives you an enormous increase in range, so you can chase much more quickly. It also works well with adaptation because you can escape from pretty much every situation out there. That being said, Double Strike is also very nice. It's basically focus attacks. Is it called focus attacks? No, it's not called focus attacks. I forgot how the talent is called, but basically whenever you use an ability, you will do boosted damage with the basic ability. With the basic attack. So this is what you go for if you want to go max damage. Queen's Rush is basically sprint. So all three are viable. Double Strike does the most damage, so we're going for that. On 16, you can go Essence for Essence or Aggressive Defense. Aggressive Defense, again, pretty good with the Assimilation Mastery. Overdrive is pretty garbage. It's cool that you do more damage, especially with Maelstrom, but honestly 40% more mana, you don't have that. There's just no way that you can do that. So normally I go for Essence, especially if the enemy has a tank. So a high health warrior to just get more sustain on myself. And then on 20, there's two options. Omega Storm is pretty okay. It just increases the size of the storm so that you hit more enemies, especially cool against minion waves, fights where you fight into heroes and minion waves. This will increase your shields a lot as well. So it's definitely a viable upgrade, but normally you will go for Bolt of the Storm because then you have another ability to jump into heroes and kill them. So yeah, the full combination is in this case then most possibly doing a jump onto a hero by bolting and then doing the combination. There's also obviously now Essence for Essence that you can use and Maelstrom, so something like this possibly. Important is that Kerrigan is definitely a hero that is pretty squishy, so she will suffer from not having a sustainable healer like Uther or Rhaegar who can heal her from far. That being said, when Maelstrom is on, she's pretty amazing on doing a lot of damage to different targets, so she's pretty cool with Oriel. So if you have a Kerrigan jumping in and hitting a combination, that's something that you can do as well. Okay, that's it for me. Basically, the combination again is W into E. Use your Q to engage or to escape if you use adaptation, and then just try it out. Go into the shop, play it in quick match and unranked draft, and then when you feel confident, definitely take her into Hero League because she can carry games if you hit your combinations. Also, I will put a link into the description. There's McIntyre from the US. He's a pro. He shows off Kerrigan in the shop in try mode as well, how he basically warms up his hands and fingers to play pro games or Hero League games. It's really interesting watch to see a pro use Kerrigan. Obviously he hits a lot more combinations and everything than I do, so that's definitely worth a watch as well. If you have any questions, always put them in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any ideas for future things that you want to learn, and I'm sure we'll try to follow up on that. That's it for me. Thanks for watching again, and well, I'll see you soon. Have a good one.